Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to the next episode review of Kowloon generic romance. Um, this has been a really now I would say this is show so far has been the best one I've seen so far of this season, but of course, including other ones I've watched so far this year though. But of the season so far, I've been really enjoying this. So I mean, of course, Go Lose a Ranger season 2. This has been first episode. Then of course after this one is this episode 2 though. But I've always been enjoying that show regardless from last year though. But as a as that's not season 2 or add on, right? Kolo we've tried generic romance has been so far the best one I've seen of the season. And like I said, it's like it's not just a generic show. It's not is in the title though, but with Rico, with Reiko, right? I mean, we see more flashbacks of her old self, right? And of course, she had a more bolder personality. Of course, the complete opposite of who she is now, right? I mean, she like when Kudo goes to her place, right? We see in the flashback he the first time he goes to her place, right? And he looks around, sees certain things about her place, right? But when he goes back to the second time, in the present time, he goes to her back to her place, and he sees notices a little bit of differences. Like some things look the same, but there's a couple of things that are off about it, right? Like in the flashback, right, she would keep a glass of water in the fridge, because and or she didn't have a stuffed animal sitting on a shelf somewhere. And so when time he came back in the second time, right, no glass of water, but watermelon, and there's a stuffed animal on the shelf, right? And now she just bought a bigger fish tank for her to put her fish in, right? So all these little things, and now of course you put ourselves in put them in each other's shoes, right? With Kudo, like put yourself in his shoes, right? It's tragic nonetheless, though, because she is by the time everybody in this part acknowledges that Reiko is not who she is. Like even the bartender from that first episode in the tea house, right? Most when he's not there no more, but he's been following her, so he's like, "You're not who you are." So, in which case, like I said, just like but like Kudo doesn't know that she's not the same woman that he fell in love with. She has a different person. It's like different personality, right? Like the flashback, she was like have much of a bolder personality here. She is much more of a timid or reserved part of her. So I mean, either to the point where toward the end, like he's like, "I hate you." That was very sad. It's just like because, and then with her perspective, like okay, it's like, but when the guy said like she's not who she used to be is like, and he's like, do I have the same feelings, or do I should I say feelings because I who the other woman was to you? It's all attractive nonetheless though, and so even and at least it's like okay with Reiko it's like she's like an imposter, right? But because the whole thing in the sky, like I mentioned before, is this whole world a simulation. She's the only one who's the one that's really real about it, or I have no idea. It's like with this it's been a very intriguing mystery I've seen in quite a while. It's like, yeah, is she the one that's not real and this whole world is real, or is it vice versa that this world is a simulation, a fake world, and everyone in it is fake? And that's why she's the only who doesn't remember anything because of certain things that got blocked out, right? So I mean, it's just like it is an intriguing mystery, and then of course we have the doctor from the last episode comes by to our work, and all of a sudden gets slips his tongue into her mouth. I'm like, get out of here, you creep! I don't care who you are. Do that again, I'll call you the police for sexual harassment. So, and of course, when Kuro sees that, he has a fit about it. Of course he does. Rightfully so. And of course, of course, clearly he knows something about her, and of course, the guy, the guy from before, right, who know, like, from the tea house, who always every second is like watching over Reiko, who tells her that you know who she you're not who you are. I guess he guess what him and the guy, the other guy, the doctor, like he's in the same bed with the guy. I'm like, okay, like this whole world is nuts anyway, so okay. But they clearly don't know. They clearly know something about her, of course. Clearly, I mean, Kudo clearly knows. Kudo clearly knows. I'm trying to say, but is everyone around here like doesn't no one know? They know she's not the same. Clearly not the same person. So I mean, just like noticing the little quirks, like you said, and she, Kudo was saying like the feeling the whole nostalgia part about this whole place of Kowloon, like it's very nostalgic. It's something that she said in the first place that got him to say that, right? So it's all very it's like it's a tragic romance, but mixed with a great mystery, and I've been really fascinated about this. And of course there is gonna be an ending. It's not gonna. I guess it's not gonna. There's not gonna be no season two cliffhanger, right? It's gonna end the way it is. Part of me, which is like okay, it does because how long are they drag this out for a second season for what I've seen so far? So if there's an ending for this, just for, on only on one season, that's fine with by me. It's like I said before. It's like Train to the End of the World, right? Part of me, season two I thought was apparent, but if it ended the way it was, I was perfectly fine with that, right? But now, of course, it doesn't determine is the ending going to be great? Is it going to be like tragic as it is? I have no idea. But it's going to be like a 13 one core show, so. But just it's like I'm just my mind's just leaving in more questions. Like I said, part of me is part of the most of me part of me thinks this whole thing is a simulation, and she's the only one that's real, and everything is not though. But who knows? It could just pull the reverse, and she's the one who's the real fake in this world. But we'll have to see we'll have to wait and see more of the mystery unraveling in the next episode. So yeah, but this has been really is like, what is going on here? It's like I need more answers. Sorry, but it's like I need more answers. But that's how it is. But Cologne generic romance. This is not a generic show at all. Definitely is not. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode review, and that's of Go Go Lose a Ranger. We'll see you next time. Later.